Okay, what up, folks? Alright, so we got a 2007 Honda CRV. Right, customer complaint is that the light is lit up. Okay, the check engine light is flashing, and let's see what it's about. Okay, so we see the check engine light is flashing. Alright, so we have some other lights, the VSA, and whatever else is on the dash, right? We have 121,000 kilometers on the dash. Okay, so customer did say the vehicle was running real good, and it just started to lose power and move real sluggish, and started jerking and vibrating. So she got in contact with me and asked if she could bring it here directly to see what's going on, right? Because she heard I'm really good at diagnosing. She do follow me on YouTube, which is real cool. I appreciate all your support, right? So let's put the scan tool on it and let's see what's going on, right? So I just got a little OBD2 code reader, so let's see if this is could diagnose or help us diagnose this vehicle. All right, so I got a P0304, right? Current is generic, and we also have it pending, right? So we got a misfire in cylinder number 4. Okay, so we gotta ask ourselves what can cause a misfire number 4. Keeping back in your mind that vehicle do need spark, fuel, compression, what else? Timing. I mean, yes, you dig. What else? Or if it's electrical problem, right? We don't know what it is, so we gotta try to narrow down the problem and see what's good, right? So let's go into freeze frame and see exactly when that code was triggered. Okay, so freeze frame basically is like a snapshot exactly when the code was triggered, and you can just get insight of when the code basically popped up, right? So you can figure out, was you in closed loop, open loop. I mean, if the vehicle was hot, cold, I can gather a lot of information by just looking at the freeze frame, and it could probably guide me in a direction where to attack. Okay, so in the freeze frame, I was in closed loop when the code was triggered. He's got the P0304 code, right? So the engine was warm at 86 degrees, right? My long term is -5. The map was at 87, so the throttle was open. Okay, my RPM was at 2000, right? So she was basically moving, right? The spark advance was at 11.5. What else am I seeing here? Sorry if you can't see the glare, but I'm trying to. It's probably the plastic or the cover that's on this that's causing you not to see properly. But what else? My math was at 26. That means the throttle was open. So the customer was driving when this code occurred, right? My lambda was at 0.998. Okay, so let's go into our live data stream and see exactly what's going on. Okay, if I'm seeing more fuel pulling than normal, then I may go after, let's say, a stuck injector that's open, or if it's running lean. I could just look at certain data in PIDs and figure out exactly where should I attack. All right, so right now the vehicle at 91 degrees, right? I'm in open loop. I'm not sure why am I in open loop. And then you gotta be careful too, because some of these manufacturers use different strategies. When they have misfire, they might shut things down due to they want to damage the catalyst, right? So my long term is -8, so I am taking away fuel, right? The throttle is closed. I'm at 689 RPM. My timing is not bad. I'm between 0 to 13 degrees, right? My math is 2.7. This is a 2.4. It's a K24, which is a 2.4 liter. So I'm around average where I'm supposed to. Okay, and then if it was like a math sensor problem, it would have been affecting all the cylinders, not one. So we gotta keep that in the back of our minds. What else do we have here? Okay, so I'm right now this might be a clue right here. My O2 sensor, right, sensor 1, I'm running lean. I'm at 0.015 volts. So that's a hint. I'm running lean right now. So what can cause me to run lean? Could be a faulty injector. I do have a video up on a vehicle that was giving me some problems, and right now I'm dumping like 35% more fuel. You see right here my lambda is 1.3, 1.5, so I'm adding 32% more fuel, so I am running lean. What else am I seeing here? What's the milliamps, lambda? Okay, so it's look like the vehicle is having problems to control the fuel trims. All right, so let's go under the hood and see exactly what we can find, right? So most likely I'm just gonna put the scope on it, scope number 1 coil, and you know, check number 4 coil and injector as well, and see exactly what's going on. So let me get to it and I'll pick the camera back up. Okay, so basically the injectors are under this cover and the coil is under here, right? So let me remove them and we could get access to see if the coil or the plugs or the injectors have the issue, right? But they did replace the coil and the plug, so I'm not gonna go after. I'm gonna take a look at an injector and see exactly if that is the reason why we have this cylinder misfire. So it looked like they got some fresh coils on. Okay, let me get this off. Okay, so this engine is really clean. All right, let me explain exactly what I got set up here. So on the blue waveform, I got number 1 coil ignition sync, and I also got number 4 ignition sync on the red, right? I'm going to put my pulse sensor on the yellow waveform. Okay, so we're just going to confirm that the misfire is on cylinder number 4, right? You don't always want to go off for exactly what the scan tool said, although I mean most of the time it is correct, but you just need to confirm before you start the attack. Okay, so I got the laptop set up, so let's start the vehicle up. All right, so we just want to capture some data, right? And next we're going to analyze it and see exactly what's going on. So I don't need to run it too long, I just need to run it for a few seconds. Let's stop it and let's take the ignition off. Okay, and let's go and see exactly what's going on. Okay, so let's zoom in. Okay, and as I mentioned before, we got the blue waveform is on cylinder number 1. Okay, and on the red is, I should have put a ground on this. I don't have a ground, so that is why you see in that, you know, harsh, you know, mark, but you can ignore that for right now. All right, so let's check this out. Let's use this and let's pan across a little bit. Let's see if we can just isolate this. Let's bring this down and let's go and zoom into this right here. All right, hold on real quick. We need to zoom. Okay, so we're gonna pick right here. All right, so every time you see this, you know, this kick right here on the blue waveform, that's letting me know that number 1 has fire, right? And this next time here is number 1 as well. This is number 4. Okay, so if we pull our rulers right here, let me just try to get closer. All right, and we're gonna pull this one right here as well. All right, so that's 720 degrees, right? Crank rotation. All right, so with that now, I can use the exhaust pulses to see exactly, you know, which cylinder is misfiring. So right now we basically have to go 360 degrees, right, which would be this line right here. Anything to the left is the exhaust pulses, anything to the right is the intake. So what we're going to do next is we're going to count from here, which is cylinder number 1, exhaust pulse. This is number 3, this is number 4, and this is number 2. And if you keep going on and on, it'll be repeating itself. So from what I'm seeing here, number 4 do have an issue, right, where you're seeing the exhaust pull is greater than the rest. If you know this, right? Look, you can take a look at it like this. Alright, so this one is definitely lower than the others. So you know, you ever like put a dollar bill or a piece of paper behind the muffler while you have a misfire, and you see it like it's, you know, pulling or making an attempt to pull the paper in. Basically, that's that vacuum you'll be seeing, you know, if you were, you know, watching the waveform, right? So we do have an issue with number 4, so we need to figure out exactly how we're going to attack number 4 and what we need to do. Laptop, all right, and with that now I'll be able to hook up my injector. I'm gonna go after my injector because I did track down a vehicle like this before that had a problem with the injectors. I'm not sure exactly why, but let's hook on to our injector and see exactly what's going on. Okay, so right now we see the injector firing and the vehicle is on this side. So this green waveform is the injector that's firing. How come? And right now you're seeing the waveform, you know, basically settle out. So is it that because I touched this harness? Oh, yes. There we go. So every time I touch that harness, you see that injector pulse falling out, which is the green waveform. Okay, so that's letting me know that number 4 injector signal has an issue. So every time I, you know, touch number 4 like this, it starts back to work, and you see my exhaust pulses looking real good. Okay, so I was able to replace this jack, and that should be it. Yeah, so let me get to it. All right, so I was able to do my repairs, all right, as best as I can. I replaced the jack itself because I didn't have any confidence in that jack that was there, right? So let's start the vehicle back up. I do have the scope running, and I still have everything set up like it did before. Okay. The check light is still on. I definitely gotta clear that. So let's go into the vehicle first. All right, key on, engine off. Now let me use the same scan tool. All right, I'm gonna use the same scan tool and basically clear the codes, right? So the check engine light is still on because it was a dead miss. Okay, at first it was intermittent because you had a little vibration. This is the harness that I purchased, right? This is the old jack that was replaced. I just replaced the whole thing, right? So the customer do have 3 more in case it happens. All right, and let's go. We do have the 4 codes from before. Okay, let's read it. We do have the P0304 code still, so let's come out of there. Let's go and let's erase it. Press OK. Engine off. All right, check the engine light is off. All right, everything's been clear. Press OK. All right, let's go back in. Scan again. Nothing. Okay, so this OBD2, you know, as I said, man, I'd like to use these little small tools right here where I could just get in and out, you know, just take a look and see exactly what's going on without bringing out all the big boys, you dig? So let's start it up. Okay, no lights at all. Let's step on the X. All right, sound real good, real smooth. Let's go back to the scope and see what's going on. Yeah, just had a little technical difficulty. The probe for the injector wasn't properly, making contact. All right, so what you're seeing here is the blue waveform is the number 1 coil, the red is number 4 coil, right? The yellow is the waveform that's coming out the exhaust pulses, and the green is the injector. So that's letting me know that everything is good, right? We do have injector command. Let's see if we can get this up here. Probably zoom in a little too much. Let's come out of here and let's go back and just take a look at the injector. Okay, so yeah, the injector is working. You're seeing it's getting pulled to the ground, it's getting fired. You're seeing where it's getting clipped. You're seeing the, let's see if we could make out the pinto hump. Okay, let's take a look right here. Kind of, come on, you over zooming things. Man, you get the point. Okay, so we're going to definitely call that a fix. Don't forget to hit and like, subscribe, share, comment. You dig? Until next time, y'all take it easy. This was a quick one. I just decided to show y'all exactly how I handle misfires, right? So I didn't have to check for compression, right? The vehicle was running perfectly before it started to act up. Okay, and yeah, that's it, right? So until next time, y'all take it easy.